The show is about to start, so sit down. Shut up and listen, or I will come kill you.
Hello and welcome to Podtime, bitches. I'm
Hey,
one of
brother.
your hosts. Hey, brother, Arley. We
I am
got Patrick driving, looking out his back window. I think he just ran over an old woman. I see that bump. He hit a biddy.
Yep. Full points.
Depending on her ethnicity, I can't say that word.
For real?
It doesn't want to come out.
Ethnicity.
Yes, I want to keep adding ethnicity to the end.
Yeah.
She's worth more points regardless.
Necessity.
Ethnicity of our city. Of our city.
All right. So we are a little bit on a time crunch this week. So I'm going to get right into it and say that I have seen multiple AI commercials on YouTube since our last conversation with like Joe Rogan and David Hainsbert talking about the government's hiding this money from you and like, you need to call the government to get your stimulus and stuff like that. That's not them. Like,
No.
have you looked into this at all, Casey?
I actually have. They put out. I was reading an article. It was put out on January 9th, and you're not the only one who's kind of freaking out. Some of the statistics that are coming out about AI and just like the word, like everybody's feelings behind it. It's something like 83% of people worry about what AI is capable of, but specifically the scamming portions of it. I know Arley was talking about it last week. We were talking about it last week because we used some of the voices for our voiceovers, and they've actually put out a program, or they're putting together a program. I believe they're launching it soon, called Project. Hold on.
Hammerhead.
I have it pulled up. Here, Mockingbird. Project Mockingbird. McAfee is putting out anti-AI voice recognition. Essentially, it's discovering the fraudulent voiceovers that people are using to deepfake people.
How would you use it though? Would it be like an app on your phone, or like how would you use it?
They've
Kind of.
they've already used it to be able to. I talked to Casey earlier this week and was telling him about it on the phone. People are getting calls and say like, you get a call from your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
they could have the AI of your mom's voice like asking you for money.
Mm.
And like what they recommend is like if you get a call from a number you don't know and they hey, it's your mom. I need you to send me money real quick. Zelle me some money real quick. They recommend you hang up and actually call your real, your mom's real number.
Mm-hmm. I actually had a friend a while back that he had an app where he could call your phone and it could make it look like it was an incoming call from anybody that you had in your phone book, I guess, or just any number that they put in.
See, I didn't know that, but I
That was
do.
years ago.
That's
I
why
can't say I'm surprised. The numbers that I was looking, like I said, the numbers I was looking at, it was ridiculous. 33% have already been deepfaked, and 40% have noticed it between certain ages as well. According to AI News, there's been age ranges from 18 to 34. 40% out of the
youngsters.
33% of Americans that have been affected by this have been between the ages of 18 and 35.
So you're saying that 40%, or let's say that these people are regular American people who have been deepfaked, who
Yes,
have people have made
who
AI stuff about them.
who have been deepfaked, yeah.
Oh wow.
They've been scammed.
And yeah.
Oh, scammed with okay. I thought you meant like they had
And
all these
deepfake.
people's images and voices in a database somewhere.
No, they do though. They do. Of course, I mean, where else are they getting it from? It has to be in a storage space somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
that's the thing is people are already getting scammed and the fear is growing exponentially. I mean, it's went up in this last year 68%. So out of the 84% of people that have been or out of the 84 that are now worried about the scams and it's not just phone calls either. Like it can go into a multiple different facets like political, entertainment. It can bleed into the media having more distrust than there already is, and just sorry, I got this fly coming around me. It's driving me nuts today.
it's an AI fly.
It's
Hey,
it's
fly.
recording this conversation, but no, it's gone up out of the 84%. 68% of it's just within this last year that people are getting freaked out. And then
Oh
you have
wow.
the other 16% of the population that are just like, oh, this is going to be great.
Well, I
I don't
imagine they're
see
going to
any
make
negative
pretty
to
cool
this at
stuff
all.
with it. Like I'm excited about that part, but definitely freaked out about the other. I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, I'm worried about political applications to it because anybody can make a video of any politician saying anything that they want them to say to somebody, and
Yeah.
then people who are super into politics. They have a tendency to be a little unhinged. So I mean, they see something that so blatantly goes against the Constitution or whatever they believe in out of a politician with power, then they might snap.
Yeah. That's the problem is that they won't even make it look like a real press conference either. You know what the scary part is most people are probably going to try to do something behind the scenes as if it was like footage caught on,
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm talking about. And
kind
I
of a
mean,
thing.
what about other countries? You have one politician trash talking another country or saying, "Hey, we pretend to be friends with this country because whatever." Then somebody in that country sees it the wrong person at the wrong time, whatever. Like
Yeah.
that kind of stuff worries me. Although I am excited for any kind of AI entertainment projects that could possibly come out.
Well, yeah, I actually really like the idea for the entertainment factor, but uh, it's a
It's not
slippery.
worth it. I would trade it all and give it all away to have it all just removed and not be able to be messed with it all. I'd give it all up.
I would give it all up in a heartbeat, mainly because of what it not only the fear of getting scammed or the fear of these deep fakes as they're calling them because it is a deep fake and it could like I said it could span across multiple different applications. But the biggest impact I would say that's actually happening, I was trying to touch down on it, is people's careers. You have fast food industry changing now. You have pharmacy that's changing now, which takes up. Sorry, fucking fly! I swear to God, dude, I'm gonna kill this fly. I
It's
have
okay.
my personal fly swatter, aka envelope, and but no, it's actually taking over quite a bit. Robots are already being seen in factories, in certain warehouse factories.
Hell yeah.
So the, but the need for people are going down, and you think about the largest industries right now for the common person is fast food and warehouse jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
And the fact that they're already implementing robotics into it to completely take away from the human need is kind of scary. It's going to limit the amount of jobs that we can. You talk about unemployment being a problem. The crazy part is we're doing it to ourselves at this point,
We're
and
slowly
AI is
moving
just
into
eating
the
it up.
world of Wally, where we got robots doing everything and we just lounge
And we're
around in
sitting
hover
around
chairs.
eating ice cream and being stuffed sundaes in our mouth. Yeah. That'd be a nice utopia if it wasn't for the fact that we also trashed our planet, let it go to shit, and we're floating
Hey,
around space just hoping life would get better.
hey,
Living in
This is AI talk, not Save the Planet talk.
yeah.
You go to a different
it's all
podcast for that horse shit.
It's all the same. It's all the same to me. They're all connected. Everything's connected.
Do you have him
But
saying the water's making the frogs gay yet? Do you have Casey's voice doing that?
No, not
'Cause that
yet.
would
Please
have been
don't.
perfect right there. All right. Well,
Did
keep
I put
looking
one
into it,
in?
'cause I'm gonna keep coming across these commercials, and like I said,
It
I'm
is
no good
time
at
we talk
research,
conspiracy
but I'm
show.
very
Listen up.
curious. So keep looking into it and keep me updated.
Oh, I will. I will. It's fascinating, actually. I have a couple more articles that are coming out after that one that I'll share at a later date. Try to
Okay.
keep it alive because it is
Okay.
fascinating and it's not stopping. And not only is it not stopping, but it's growing fast, insanely fast.
Yeah.
Fun.
They got the AI working on the AI, and the AI is
They do
faster and
the
better.
that's the crazy part though is they are kind of they're using AI now to generate coding, and then you got people that are just taking that coding and applying it to programs, and it's just speeding up coding and the creation of it. You're right. At a certain point, they're going to write robots who build robots, and Terminator will not just be a movie. It'll be reality.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, I know
realized
it's a
earlier
lot.
today that there's some things that I watch or listen to on YouTube that the voices are all AI. Like they just have like a program read it out. They type up a script and have the program read it out. Because there's a sports thing that I listen to all the time, and the way that the guy pronounces stuff, I thought that was just kind of a gimmick because the way he pronounces stuff, like he sounds it out too much. If that makes sense, but I'll give a specific example right now. I'm listening to this like interrogation, murder, true crime type thing, and this girl got killed, and her name was Megan, but it was spelled like Meighen or An, something like that. So every time he said her name, he said it kind of different, like a few different ways, but it wasn't consistent. So he'd be like Megan, Meghan, Meighan, and it would just differentiate. And I was like, is this a joke, or like this is not a jokey subject, you know? And so I'm like, why did they do it? I'm like, oh. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh shit, this is AI that I'm listening to right now. All those sports videos I watch, that's all AI. Because then he also
Miagon
said
doesn't
mentioned, but he
appreciate
said it
that.
like mentioned or something like that. Like he just sounded it out too much. And I'm like, okay, they got me.
This is robots. These are robots talking.
Yeah.
They're not perfect at all, but you know what is? Some
What's
music
perfect,
albums.
brother?
Some music
There, oh,
albums.
some, yes.
You like that
Some is
transition?
true. That's a great segue.
Give myself a pat on the back.
Good job, brother.
So it's something that I kind of shot out today to Pat and brought up the idea of bringing up perfect albums, and by that I mean like when you put it on, you don't skip any song. To you, any one of those could have been released and been a single. Like they're all solid from start to end. Because there's a lot of albums where you put it on and you're like, I don't like this song. I could skip this. I don't care for this. Skip, pass.
Well, yeah, that's why iTunes became so popular, man. That and Napster at a certain point, but it's all the same.
And
The fact that you can buy songs individually, that's why. Because some albums just have too many fillers where you're like, get the fuck out of here with this song. Has no place on the album. It's not good,
think about it
and it
though.
brings.
Like, think about when we wrote music. I don't think any one of our songs would have been fillers. But that's because we were all always into it. But if you
That's
give
true.
it if you give it to somebody not us, they're gonna be like,
I don't know. There were a
Wolfman.
couple I could mention
That's a piece of
that
shit.
were.
Skip
you
Wolfman.
could skip track 5 through 9, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
the rest are good.
Yeah.
But
Partners.
I,
That's all I gotta say. Partners.
I got to thinking about this.
That could be a filler. That could definitely be a filler.
No, I don't think so.
A little bit.
Not in today's climate.
I like it.
It would be an anthem in today's climate.
You know what? I didn't take that into consideration. You know what? Maybe we just were in the wrong generation. Maybe we need a re-release.
We were
Yeah.
we were a little ahead of
number
our.
one.
We were 10 years ahead of our time. But I thought about this because I was watching some YouTube videos this morning and stumbled across Justin Hawkins has his YouTube channel, Singer from the Darkness. And it got me thinking, and I put on the first Darkness album, and
It's fantastic.
it's from start to end. It is an album you can listen to, and everything is, as the kids would say, banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger.
Keep. A perfect album. You might call it a perfect album.
I would put it on that list of something I
And
would
it
not
is
skip anything on it.
I think
I
the
have
Darkness
one.
album, Hotcakes, is probably pretty close too. It's been a minute since I've listened to it, so I don't remember if there's anything I skipped, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Hotcakes is pretty damn solid, pretty damn perfect all the way through as well.
See, I don't listen to the Darkness. I guess I should check them out. You guys keep talking about them periodically. I only know their hit.
I love the Darkness. Big Darkness fan.
Yeah, you're one of those that's like, I only know I believe in a thing called love.
Yeah, like I said, their hit. I said it for a reason.
They had a couple hits.
I'm not
I
saying
don't know
that
if
they
I'd
don't
say
have
that
good
anything got as
songs.
big as I believe in a thing called love, but growing on
Not
me
that
got a
big.
little bit of play. I don't even remember what the other one was. Maybe One Way Ticket, the first single off the second album.
They're not
Which I
like
like that song, but the
I
lyric
don't
makes
even.
no sense. One Way Ticket to Hell and Back. That sounds like a round trip ticket to me. Still a good song though. Kiss doesn't have perfect lyrics either, but I still rock out, you know.
I did tell you what he named his tour coming up over there in the UK, right?
Yes.
It's Justin Hawkins Rides Again for the first time.
But that makes sense though, because his YouTube channel is called Justin Hawkins Rides Again, right? So now
Yeah.
he's gonna take that on the road. So for the first time he's doing Justin Hawkins Rides Again. So that makes sense.
It
I don't
does.
know that there was a direct like reason why One Way Ticket to Hell and Back was made. Maybe this is a riff off that. Maybe he did this specifically because he knows that lyric. Might take some scrutiny back in the day.
I'll say this: if he did that shit on purpose, that's absolutely comedy gold right there. Because
The new one, I'm sure, 100% sure he did that on purpose, but I don't know if he did it on purpose because of the way it sounds in general, or also because of the throwback to that lyric.
I don't know.
But he definitely named it that on purpose.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
I mean, how do you not? How do you not name that? I mean, that if that's not intentional, I mean, like I said, that's just comedy gold. That's accidental comedy gold.
What about you? Do you have, off the top of your head, do you have any albums that you could say are like this from start to end is a perfect album?
To me, yeah, I would say one sticks out, which is why they're to this day. I don't want to say they're my favorite band because I know I go through moods where I'm like, oh, let me listen to this genre or this band, but typically I always go back to it, and that's Matchbox 20, their first album.
Damn good album.
Yeah, their first
Not my
album from
favorite
start to
album of
finish.
theirs, but I think it's very solid. There are a couple of songs that I skip on that one though, but it's such a good album.
I know most people are gonna be like, oh, I hated Busted, and I'm like, no, it's a good song. It's a good song. To me, it's a good song.
Oh
I
no,
know.
yeah, that one doesn't even sound familiar, so that's probably one of the ones I don't listen to much. So I might not even not like it. I just maybe don't get to it, maybe never even really listen to it. But they got some good stuff.
Yeah, that's one album. I have
That
another,
first album is
but
so good. Shame, that song is so freaking good.
there was a lot of
Back
singles
to
from
good.
that
Plus
album.
they had 3 singles from that, I think. I think they
3
had
a.m.
Push, 3 a.m. and
Good.
Long Day.
And was it Heroes? What
No,
was
that's
it?
Long Day, I believe. Isn't it? Be a superhero.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Long Day. I'm not 100%. Hold on. Don't quote me on that. I'm not going to minimize my screen. I'm going to let it come to me naturally because I know this. I know this. I know this. I know Long Day is on there. Oh, wait, no, no, no. That's Real World, and that
Real
is
World,
on
not the
that's on Mad Season. I told you I'd get it. I
Real
love
Is
World's not
Matchbox
on
20.
Mad Season.
Huh?
is
Real World's not on Mad Season.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. That's the
It is
song
on
I'm
first
thinking of. It's
album?
like, yeah, I think
Holy
it's the
crap.
first song.
Yeah, Long Day wasn't even a single, and Long Day's fantastic. Or was it? I
Yeah,
don't
all
know.
those
But Real
songs.
World definitely was. Yeah, it's a fantastic album. There's probably maybe two. Is there one on there called Argue?
Yes.
Hey, I'm not familiar with that one either. So that one and Busted, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Damn, I can tell you. Cody, I can tell you. Shame, I can tell you. You know, I can't say anything about. I knew Busted is on there, and I knew Argue was on there, but I couldn't tell you anything about him.
The last song is hands down my favorite. Hang. I
Hang.
really
Oh, that's
like that. Yeah.
that one I'm not familiar with either. So yeah, are those the last three
Ooh.
songs? Busted,
Yeah,
Damn, and Hang, or Busted,
yeah,
Argue, and Dang.
I believe so. It goes argue, busted, and then hang. I
Yeah,
believe.
though I guess for some
Don't tell
reason I
me
just
it's
never
that
made it to the
I've
last three
looked at the
songs or
album.
something. I don't know.
'Cause I'll just throw it on. I'll just throw it on,
uh,
and every now and then I'll mix them up. I'll do like a just a
Shuffle.
mix of them. Yeah, shuffled playlist. But yeah, if you haven't listened to Hang or you don't remember it, man, do yourself a favor. I know you're a Matchbox 20 fan. You'll like Hang.
Big
It's a good
time.
song. Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, so I have an album like that. It was from the same era too, same time I started listening to Matchbox 20. Also, well, similar. Bare Naked Ladies' first album, Gordon. That's my perfect album. That's start to finish, fantastic. And not only is it a great album, like that Bare Naked Ladies, they often go back and forth between different genres and stuff, and they're always just having a good time, and everything is there's kind of a joke behind everything, which makes their serious songs really stand out. And there's two of them on at least two of them on Gordon, and also I've had different phases. I've had a phase with almost every single song on that album. Like at different times, I'm like I listen to that song over and over and over again. That's my favorite song, and like I felt like I've grown up with it. Like these songs whenever I was a kid that were the more jokey, more straight joke funny songs, those are the ones I like more whenever I was younger. Then when I, got into high school and stuff, then the more serious stuff, kind of started. And then as I got older, the most serious stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've grown up with it, like I've evolved along with the songs on the album, and yeah, it's the soundtrack of my life. That's my perfect album.
yeah. Is that the one that has 1 week? That's the only Bare Naked Ladies song I could tell you.
No, it's the one that has "If I Had $1 Million" on it, though. Are you familiar with that one?
I
If
do know
I
that
had
song.
$1 million, if
Yeah.
I had $1 million.
Yeah, I do know that one.
That's a good song. Yeah, I think that was their first like single. But never got huge. 1 week got huge, obviously. But I'm a big Bare Naked Ladies fan, and
I like It's All Been Done.
I love that
I
album.
like that song a lot, actually.
That's on
I,
the second
I
album
know
also.
I know it was used for a show,
Mhm.
but like you know how they
I
only take like a
met
segment
you
from the song?
before the fall of Rome. Good song,
Yeah.
really good song.
It is a good song. I like that song.
Yeah. Stunt. I think Stunt has one song on it or something that I didn't care for, or whatever, that I didn't mention. But I might have to revisit that too, and say that that's a perfect album as well, because there's been songs on that album that I used to skip, and then later on I've had phases with them, and I'm like, holy crap! So that Stunt's a really really good album too. I'm just not 100% sure if I am good with every song, or if there's one that I'm not sure about. So I'll have to revisit that and bring that next time.
All right.
How are you feeling about this, though? I mean, is this something you want to do weekly, and we come with a one album and talk about it every week, or do you want to like break up lists and each week somebody does a list, or we all do one week, or what are you feeling?
I was gonna ask you guys, like, do you want to all come with one each week? I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
I don't know how long we could like keep it going because there's not a whole lot of like albums where you could be like, this is perfect start to end.
Yeah.
I only have one other one but I know not
Save it.
everybody would share the opinion. I'm
Save
saving
it.
it.
We'll save it.
Don't
We'll
premature
bring
me.
another one next week, and then we'll see where we go from there.
We could save it.
Yeah.
All right. Or if we want to, maybe we can discuss it off pod, but maybe we can tell each other what they are. We can listen to them. If one of us hasn't heard them, we can listen to it and catch up. I mean, I've heard all the ones you guys mentioned today, but just in case,
I've
But that's
got
something we can go over later.
I've got 5 albums for sure that I know I could
5?
I could list. Oh yeah.
There was one I thought for sure whenever you first introduced it, there was one I thought for sure you were going to mention. But that I know that's on your list, but I won't mention it. I'll wait till you hear it, and then as soon as you say it, I'll be like, that's the one I thought.
Okay, I'm about to premature. Is it this one? No, I'm just kidding.
I almost did. I was like, I want to guess it. I think I know one of them at least. I know one of them. I would say there's
I don't know if there's any way we could
the
say
band.
what we think it is and see who was right.
Can I
guess you
say
could
the
just tell us
band name?
now.
How about that? Can I say the band name? Because they have a lot of different albums.
Yeah.
You guys could guess the bands, sure.
Coheed and Cambria is one of them.
Surprisingly, no.
Really? I thought for
which
sure you would have said one of their albums.
No, because there's always like one I want to skip, but not because I don't like it. It's more of like I want to hurry up and get to this other song.
Yeah.
Okay.
It becomes like an impatient thing. So I
I
can't
get that.
I can't sit and be like it's perfect even though I'm going to skip over stuff because I'd get too impatient and it's like hurry up. I want to get to this.
I'm guessing Switchfoot Beautiful Letdown.
That is one
That's
that's
the one
going
I
to
thought
be
you were
on
going to
there.
mention.
I listened to that
we were gonna
today,
list off
surprisingly.
albums.
Great album.
I listened to it today on Spotify, like after thinking about it.
Oh, that whole album is fantastic.
Really, Switchfoot? I would never have taken you guys.
We used to talk about that album all the time, about how that album was a perfect album.
I was gonna lead with it, but with the darkness on my mind and getting it from discovering his YouTube videos and his channel today, I was like, I'll lead with that one because it's equally as good, but
listen to that in the meantime, Casey, so when it comes up, you can have a frame of reference. But
beautiful letdown.
While you were watching Justin Hawkins, I was watching Echo episode 2. Did either of you guys watch any Echo, any more Echo?
No, I
haven't
not.
checked it out yet.
I was gonna try to watch it all really quick, but after the second episode, I needed a break because there is just some very cringy stuff in it, and here's what I'm gonna say. She's an amputee, right?
Ew.
And we know this because they constantly show her amputated foot. We would have no other way of knowing other than that because it does nothing. It does not hinder her in any way. As a matter of fact, it was actually a saving grace in this last episode. She's doing this heist thing on a train, and did I miss something?
I put that clip in thinking that it would never get any use. Okay, I'll stop talking. But all right, so if you could hear it, this is what I played.
You goddamn cripple bitch.
Like I randomly put that in our soundboard when setting it up, thinking like there's never going to be an opportunity for this.
Okay, just in case we release this clip separately, it'll start right now. And if anybody wants to hear what got cut out, they'll have to check out the full pod. Okay, so she's an amputee. Echo is an amputee. She's doing this heist thing on a train, and when she goes to escape, she slips, and her amputated leg, her fake leg, her metal leg, gets caught in between these two the hitches for the train, where it's hooked together. So they're going like that. It squishes her leg. So if she had had a real leg, she would have lost her leg right there. But luckily, she had a fake leg, so she did not get hurt. So then she's trying to move it apart. She's trying to move the thing apart, but obviously he's not strong enough to pull a train hitch to separate it. But then she gets the vision of her ancestors, and then all of a sudden she is strong enough to just open it. So that's what her power and stuff is she's echoing back to her ancestors and all the powerful women in her tribe. But it just seems to be whatever is needed in the moment, that's the power. So I hate that. So she's able to pull it open. Okay. Then after she pulls it open, she starts walking away and she's got a limp.
A mechanical leg. I guess you could maybe say like it's damaged, but who knows?
You can say that it's damaged because it did get damaged. She had to go and get a replacement leg, but she's wincing while she's limping. She's like,
maybe
no.
Maybe
Okay?
she forgot.
So then check this out. Check this out. I could not believe it. This is the last thing I wrote down. I didn't even write anything else out after this because I couldn't. There's a camera view outside of a covered porch, like on a farmhouse,
Yeah.
a covered porch. And the camera starts to pan up, revealing that Echo was sitting on top of the covered porch, dangling her feet over. Tell me why she has no shoe on her amputated leg, but she does have a shoe on her other one. Tell me why she has her amputated leg shoe off, sitting next to her on the roof, just so they can get a camera shot of her swinging her legs with her fake legs swinging back and forth. What is going on here? What is happening? That is absolutely ridiculous. That somebody pulls up and she's like, oh, then she grabs her shoe and just puts it on. Why did you have it off? Why was it off? And why wasn't the other one off? I'm sorry. It makes no sense. It was so stupid. So stupid.
She likes to feel the breeze go through her metal toes.
Oh, it's so dumb. So dumb. And there's other dumb
Are you
stuff in
just
there too,
watching
but
it at this
I
point
couldn't
just
have with
because
that.
you can't look away from that? Like, what's your? Are you hoping it gets better? Because I haven't heard anything good about this show.
Yes, I'm hoping that it gets better. Yes. I don't think it is, and
Your
I'm not even
camera's
sure that I
off.
want to continue watching it, but
No, I
I'm
know.
gonna try.
I know the camera's off. I'm multitasking right now. So let it be.
All right.
My question is though, how long are these episodes again?
39 minutes, 40 minutes.
Damn, dude. So you spent an easy hour and 20 minutes at the least, or at the most, and you're still not happy with it, and you're hoping it gets. See, I can't do that. I can't spend.
I'm not actually thinking and putting any stake that it's going to get better. I just hope that it does because I like comic books. I like Marvel. I like the MCU. I want it to be good. I want other people to enjoy it, and I want it to keep going. So that's why I'm hopeful. I'm not hopeful for any actual reason, just optimism.
No. I mean, I'm just surprised you're still watching it, even with this, with what you've already seen. I don't know. I guess I give up too easily if I can't get into it, especially after the second episode. I
So
move on.
cringe how much they zoom in on her leg. Just like, hey, remember, she's an amputee. Remember, don't forget, you got no leg.
Maybe there's going to
Goddamn
be a
cripple,
payout.
bitch.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I doubt it, but we'll see. And like I said, so far the fake leg has only helped her. It's only helped her. So I don't get it.
You know what's going to happen? She's going to have to take it off and throw it at somebody,
I don't
and
see
that's
that
going to
happening.
be
That might be pretty
yeah.
cool. I don't see that happening. And then she had to fight on one leg. That would be awesome. Not gonna happen.
Not
There's no
even.
way.
No, it's just going to be stupid. It's just going to be like a comedy moment. She's going to have nothing left other than to throw her leg, and it's going to pause somebody in the middle of beating the shit out of one of them, and then and then the other person's gonna get their second wind and come back and defeat the bad guy.
Oh, yeah. So the leg being thrown is the turning point in the whole battle.
Yes.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Who
Yeah,
throws a
also at the beginning
shoe?
of the second episode,
Honestly.
it's showing one of her ancestors playing this game of stickball with her tribe, and it seems like whichever team loses is going to be banished from the tribe. She's not doing very well. Then at one point she gets knocked down, and then she sees her vision, and there's a crowd of people, and they're all fighting for the ball, and she runs around the pile, and all of a sudden the ball comes out of the pile right towards her so she can catch it and run towards the goal, and then she gets tripped up again, and the ball gets knocked out, and then they're all fighting over the ball. They're all huddled in a circle fighting over the ball, and then she gets a vision, and then she does a front flip out of the pile, and she's got the ball and runs by herself into the goal. It's like, what happened? Like, what actually happened? Nothing. Is she got a vision and all of a sudden she had the ball because that's what needed to happen. Like, would have been cool if they had showed her constantly get bested in some way and she notices it, so then she learns from it, and then at the very end of that scene she overcomes that specific obstacle. Like, there's a move somebody always puts on her that always gets her, but she figures that out, so by the end of it she's able to counter that move and then get that winning shot or whatever. So that would have been cool, but I don't know, there's no powers involved in there, there's no made up story, devices, there's nothing in there except for an actual small arc for that little scene. But they can't even do that. It's just, oh, I got a vision and now I got powers. Oh, also, after Maya gets her vision on the train, she's wearing gloves, and she takes her gloves off and she goes like this, and her hands are glowing gold or whatever. But it's like, I don't remember being able to see that through the gloves. Maybe I'm just missing that part, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's all very dumb so far.
That pretty much sums up Marvel over the past 2 years.
Not Guardians of the Galaxy though. That was the shit.
There's been some decent things that have come after Endgame, but for the most part, it's been like,
for the most part,
could just be fatigue.
Yeah.
Been going.
We'll find out. I'm gonna keep watching it, so I'll update you guys again. Hopefully, I can get a couple episodes in before the next one, instead of just having to stop at one and take a week-long break.
It's been going for 16 years at this point.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
When the first Iron Man came out, set all.
I was gonna try to segue into Club Dread, saying, didn't Club Dread come out 16 years ago? But fuck, it's probably been 20 years, huh? It's probably been over 20 years since that's come out.
I believe it's 20 years exactly. I think it came out in 2004.
It's so old.
It did come out in 2004.
Good year.
Freaks,
Good year for movies.
Freaks and Geeks summer.
Hell yes. What do you know about that, Casey?
About Freaks and Geeks summer?
Oh, the
a
Freaks
lot.
and Geeks
What do I know
summer.
about your Freaks and Geeks summer? Nothing.
I can't tell you what I call it because we will get canceled. But just take the first letter from Freaks and Geeks, and I call it the summer of blank.
Why do you call it that?
I don't. I'm just pointing it out.
Yeah. Well, either way, Casey doesn't know nothing about it, and that's why we're not doing the game today because of punishment from last week. He knows that his tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Got the game postponed a week.
Yeah. How dare you not be around us during the time period where we lost contact? How dare you not be there? That's on you.
I remember.
I
don't remember. Remind me.
It's on video. I'll have to go back and watch. But I remember you did something.
Probably.
It sounds like something you would do.
You don't know me. You don't know me at all.
Club Dread.
Yes.
And
Club
that boy
Dread.
was me.
The movie I stole from the non-brother.
Yeah.
Felt so good.
I thought that was pretty funny.
just to throw some extra disrespect on top of it, I didn't even watch the movie. I picked it and was like, nah, I don't want
I
to
watched
watch
half of
this.
it. I watched half of it.
I watched the whole thing the very next day, and I was like, I knew I liked it. I already knew I liked it, but it's been a while since I watched it. And I put it on. And I was like, damn, this is a good movie. It's freaking hilarious all the way through. The characters are great.
There's a lot of good lines in there. A lot of really
Yeah,
cool, funny
for
scenes.
years.
Like I still want to play that live action Pac-Man game that they play in there.
Yeah.
That always looked like it'd be fun to play.
Hell yeah, that did. I forgot about that.
Do you, there are some lines that didn't stick out to me whenever I originally watched it, or even all the years that I have watched it. That really, I one in particular, but I'll save that one for last. But there's a joke that was in the trailer that I've seen, and I didn't really. It was just there, but it really got me this time. And that's when Lars gets introduced to Dave, the DJ, and he says, "We swapped out a 6-foot Swedish broad for this guy," and he goes, "I'm 6'1". And he's like, "Cool," but like I was laughing so hard when he said, "I'm 6'1". I was like, and I seen it before, and it never was that big of a deal to me as a joke, but it got me cracked up this time. Yeah, funny all the way through. I love how in that first scene, well, there's the first scene where there's the initial kill, and then it goes back to them coming on to to Coconut Pete's Pleasure Island. And when the camera goes through, it gives like a little reason for each of the main characters to be the killer. And each time
Yeah.
it slows down and it shows like a crazy look on their face. And it's like, oh, is this the killer? I think that's great. And maybe I don't watch enough comedy horror or something to know this, but I'm surprised I haven't seen that idea aped more in other movies, especially other comedy horror movies. Just that slow motion of every single character giving them a little tiny motive or a reason why it could be them, you know? I thought
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that. At first, I thought it was just oh, I forget his name. So I'm like Arley. I'm terrible with names. Um,
So right when they walk in, it's the fun police, Sam. He's asked the guy
yeah,
if he has any do you have that grass that I loaned you or whatever? And he's like, no, man, whatever. And he walks past him, and then he just looks at him as he walks past, slow motion. And then
and then it goes to
it goes to Juan after that, but it doesn't really give him a motive. It does slow down on him, but it doesn't really give him a motive. And then it goes to I think Putnam after that, right?
yeah,
And that
Who'd like
then
to
the guy that said he
party?
didn't have the grass, he brushed him off in some way. He was that guy because he was one of the first people to die, so that guy was pissing everybody off. And that's and then so then one of the girls that he goes out to the woods with, she gets drugs from Dave, and she puts the drugs in the drink, and then he asks for one, and she says, "Oh, sorry, they're spoken for," and she walks away, and he does the same thing. He looks at her in slow motion as she's walking away. I think that's great. That's great. And who's the best character in the movie?
Putman for me.
Putman, 100% Putman. Every single thing he says is a quotable line. Maybe one or two here and there when he's like talking about how much he likes Jen, when he's like trying to be sweet or whatever. But even that's funny.
yeah.
But pretty much every single line he has is a quotable line.
Piss on that.
You've cuffed me to my deathbed, you Piccadilly hole.
I'm taking a
Give me the racket, give me
machete.
the wolves.
The I could give you a little behind the scenes stuff.
Let's have it.
So he he directed that movie. He's the director of all their movies.
Yeah,
Uh,
I knew that.
Jay Chantrachar or something,
Chandra Zakar?
something like that.
I know, yeah. Chandra Zakar.
He released an autobiography, and he talked about some stuff from that movie. And one of them was man, I don't know, I can't think of his real name, but Farva, the actor who plays Farva in that movie,
Kevin something, but
Kevin Heffernan.
there you go.
So you know how in Super Troopers when he gets powdered and turns around and you see his dick?
Mm-hmm.
like he fought against that so much, and they talked him into it. And one of the things that was said was, if he does it, then in the next movie, the director, the J guy, has to show his dick.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he came up with that whole story with the dick being tucked. And when it came time, he stood up and like had everything tucked on purpose just to fuck with him. So his dick wasn't really shown. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
And that boy was me.
me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's up with all that dodgy business in the jungle, but I'm haunted by the dreams.
So he came up with the story and the dick tuck and everything just to get out of showing his own dick in that.
Oh, wow. See, he's definitely the
Genius
best
story,
character
though.
in that. He's the best character in Beer Fest. He might be the best character in Puddle Cruiser, too. I don't think he's the best character in Super Troopers. Slammin' Salmon? No, probably not. He's good, though. I really like that guy. He's also in that awesome Jackass sketch whenever Danger Aaron was supposed to be pretending to be a terrorist, you know? And they had him as the cab driver in on the bit.
Right.
So he like forced
I
him into
forgot
the
about
trunk
that.
and drove around and stuff. Like that was so good. It kills me every time I watch it. That bit's so good.
Like, there's the
Seeing
airport.
Aaron,
Boom.
Aaron's emotions in real time, knowing that it's all going sideways, you know. And when he reaches into the cab to get him out, and he opens his thing and he's like, boom, boom. And he's like, you can tell, and he's like, this is not working. This is not going right.
One of my favorite things from that skit comes from when they're in the trunk and you hear Bam outside and he's just like, that's Bam Margera, he's famous. Like he's like trying to like haggle with them by be like, that's Bam Margera.
Yeah.
He's famous.
Oh yes, because he's trying to tell me this is a prank, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then they revealed to him that they had all the pubes on his beard and stuff.
Yeah, they show them the video, right?
Yeah.
Show the video of all the people shaving.
And that one text message that said, enjoy the crabs.
Yeah.
But
So back to Club Dread. So when Hank is telling them, like, they have the party on the beach or whatever, and he's telling the staff to go around into the rooms and just snoop around a little bit and see if they can find any evidence of who might be the killer. And when they come back, Jen is like, you know, I didn't see anything, and Lars like, I didn't really see anything. And he looks behind him and he goes, the guy in 14 has a wooden Bible. I don't know why, but I lost it. And I've seen the movie several times, but for some reason, it's just so funny to me now. Like, why does he have a wooden Bible? Why does a wooden Bible exist? How big is it? How thick is it? Like, oh, man. I don't know why, but that joke just got me. And then I love how at the end they do that riff on the killers, like always, they're never dead, you know, they're always come back. How he dies, you know, like 3 different times, and then at the very last one, it's just his torso that pops up out of the water because he got cut in half. And then that's when Lars is like, "Oh, come on!" And I love that. I lost it in the theater when I first saw that. He's like, "Oh, come on!" Also, another thing I wanted to shout out is that they have that one staff member whose name is You. And at least two different times, they do a joke about her name, and I just think it's really well done. I think it's brilliant to even think about it, because it's like it shows a guy, he's kneeling and he's like picking up a trash bag or something like that, and there's like the scary music, and you can see someone going up behind him, and then the music hits a crescendo, and he turns around and he's like, "You." And then, and then the camera goes to her, and she's like, "Yeah, hey, you know, do this and that." Just normal thing, but that's funny. And then again, after she dies, her and Hank die, then Juan goes into the shack where everybody's at, and he's like, "You and Hank are dead." And then Bill Paxton's like, "Well, what did we do?" And he's like, "No, you and Hank are dead." And he's like, "You threatening me?" And so that was funny that 2 different times they were able to use that joke, and it worked both times. So yeah, we got to mention the late, great Bill Paxton
that
in the movie.
That
Yeah.
was my
Coconut
favorite
Pete.
role he's ever done.
Mm-hmm. I really sang all the songs. You can tell it's him singing all the songs. It sounds just like him.
Oh no, that was AI back then. Crazy, right?
Could you imagine?
Pina colada birch.
He's like,
No,
can any
love
of you
margarita.
can any of you tell me the secret ingredient? Pineapple Pete's
Oh,
papaya
Coconut Pete's.
or coconut
Oh,
Pete's
yeah,
papaya?
yeah.
Like,
Coconut?
yes, God damn it, yes. It's,
Am I the only bloody hell, Jen? Am I the only one? Putman's so good. Can you believe he'd never played Cox and Quarters before? Everything he says.
he's
Piss on that, I'm taking a machete.
Speaking of freaks and geeks, Neil played a little cameo in that.
He did. Sam
I
Levine.
loved his little scene when he kept speaking about that, like that line in particular when he's like, "Cox and quarters." He's like, "Pip pip cheerio." Fucking, we gotta.
Yeah, it was cool to see
Like,
him
with
in
the
something because I
Disney
haven't really
players, how
seen
to
him in
get
anything. It's crazy that out of all of them, Martin Starr has got, like, at least out of the geeks, Martin Starr has gotten the biggest. Not for any
Yeah.
particular reason. I like them all. I just I don't know who I would have guessed was going to be the breakout, but I really liked Neil
Well, I
in the
mean,
show. And John Daly, he does stuff behind the scenes. He directs, produces, writes, stuff like that. Although he was in
yeah, I know
Bones
the principals, right? Yeah, he was. I was like, they've all really done little stuff.
and
I
he
would
was
say
in
the
Waiting,
least is probably.
and he had a very small part in
Yeah.
Horrible Bosses.
Really?
Yeah, he worked at Jason Bateman's office, but he's only in it for he doesn't really do anything substantial.
like a
Yeah, it's like one of those like
blink and you miss
little
him.
blur things.
Yeah, you could say that. Blink and you miss him. He has a couple of lines, but yeah, he's not a big player in the movie. Because he communicates with his like assistant there a few times, and he's there like at the beginning when they're in the meeting. He's like sitting next to him in the meeting. He says a word to him here or there, but yeah, he's not in very much. But he's in it. Oh, but I think he wrote that. I think he wrote Horrible Bosses. I think he had something to do with that movie behind the scenes, 100%. Producing, directing, writing. He did something to it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think Club Dread is fantastic. I think he does a really good job with having all the horror elements of his slasher movie and just making everything funny too. I mean, it works. I think it works on every level.
Would you say it's the best Broken Lizards movie that they've done?
Broken
Ooh.
Lizard is so good. It's hard for me to say that.
Oh,
Oh.
hi, Harley.
I don't have a strong. Oh, there she is. Hi.
Oh, what'd you have? What do you get? A bracelet? Oh, very cool.
Very
Nice.
nice. I'm jealous.
Uncle Pat says he's jealous.
Ask her what she thinks about Club Dread.
What do you think about the movie Club Dread? A thumbs
Thumbs
in the
up?
middle?
Yeah.
Just in the middle?
Okay,
Okay.
that's something. I would rate it much higher than that.
If we're gonna rate it, I would give it 4.5 machetes.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a
That
good one.
is. It's a good rating
I'm like-
scale. I like that.
I'm gonna give it 4.5 Piccadilly holes. What about you?
I want to give it so close to a 5 because it's one of my favorite comedy horror movies. There's only 3 comedy horrors that always stand out: Scary Movie 2, Shaun of the Dead, and Club Dread. And Club Dread is. I know I saved it for last, but that's because it is the best, I would say, even compared to Scary Movie 2, which is why I wanted to pick it. Because even though I thought of Scary Movie 2 because of how huge it was, I would still say that Club Dread was above it. And I'm going with 4.75, man.
4.75 what?
Machetes. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna steal his rating scale?
Yeah. He
I'll-
stole my movie.
I'll give him the
I don't know about
Steal
that.
his
machetes.
scale.
I might have to postpone the game another week after that.
I'll give him the machetes, and I'll give mine a 4.8. Motherfuckers.
Because then you'll just have pony cock. Everything is good. That movie's great all the way through. I think that there's comedy horror, and I think that fits in the genre. So does Scary Movie 2. But movies like Scary Movie 2, how they're just over the top, like goofy, funny, I think that's there. I think there's different, and I think Shaun of the Dead goes more into the Club Dread category. And I like them both. I don't even know which one I like more, but I definitely notice a difference. And Club Dread is definitely one of the better, like, serious comedy horror movies, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one would be closer to it, I would say. In the series of Scary Movie, the first one would probably be close. It's over the top still, but it is more of a splat.
Goofy. Even though the first two were a lot less goofy than they got after that, they still are in that category. I think.
I don't know.
To me.
Well, since we're on the topic of scary comedy movies, it is your turn to pick the next one. What's on the docket? Yeah, right? Is it?
Okay. I've gone back and
Go
forth
ahead.
on this because I know I spitballed something around last time, but
I don't know whose turn
but I
it
wasn't
is.
sure. But it is a great
Doesn't matter.
movie, and I think that if anybody that hasn't seen it, they definitely should. And I know Casey hasn't seen it, so we're going to do Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which that's like it's a horror comedy, and it's also part like a mockumentary.
Fantastic movie.
It's a fantastic movie, and I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about it, Casey.
I almost bought the mask this past Halloween.
Really?
Because I was
That'd be
like,
cool.
I was thinking of things to use for streaming. Like I bought that
the
dollar store Leatherface mask.
Yeah.
I've got a few other masks, and I was looking at that one online, and I was like, yeah, that'd be cool to wear on stream. But I was like, not a lot of people might know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
everybody's
that's
gonna
true.
know it after next week, right?
We're gonna finally put that movie on the map.
I cannot wait. Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Bookmark it.
I will check it out.
It is really
and
good.
then now, before we round out this part, we got to come up with our next 3 entries to go on the bracket for which franchise we are going to do the full review of. So far we have Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, and my list is written down. What did you pick, Casey?
How do you pick Child's Play?
Child's Play. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So far we got those 3. And I know what my entry is, so I'll start in case you guys need another second. And I don't want anybody else to take this one from me. Saw. The Saw franchise.
I knew it.
That is getting penciled in on the bracket. So, okay, and while you guys are thinking, I don't know if I had said this clearly last week, but it's going to come down to, because we're doing 16 total, and only can do 15 divided evenly by the 3 of us. So for the last one, I think maybe we should each bring one and debate it out over which one gets on. I don't know how we'll determine a winner. We got to decide the mechanics of that, but we got some time. So we're going to fight for that 16th spot.
I think you were right. I think it should be 2 of us bring it. Excuse me. 2 of us bring it to the pod, and then the third person
judge
tries to be the unbiased judge.
I think the only way that's going to work is if you're the judge. Because if it's you against Arley, I'm going Arley every time.
That's cold.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Thanks, brother. You got my back.
You got it, brother.
That's all right.
Okay,
I've always been the unbiased one in the band. I had to break up your guys' squabbles.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it shouldn't be any different now.
If you want to prepare for that. But okay, do you know which movie you want to add to the bracket? Which franchise?
Hostel, maybe. I was thinking about Hostel.
The third
It's not a bad
Hostel
one.
is surprisingly good.
That
there
I'm
are
trying to
only
think, like
three, which I don't
when we
mind, but
talk
there are only
like
three
how
in that series. So
that's what I was literally about to say. I was gonna say the only thing I wonder is like how long does a series have to be considered a series? Like
I think at least more than two. So
You can say like
I'm good with that being an entry if that's what you want to pick.
you can say 3 and up as long as there's
no,
3.
I mean it was an idea, but that was all. I I would give me a little bit. I'll
Yeah.
come
Okay,
up with one.
Arley, if you have an idea, you go next then.
I'm gonna go with the other big time '80s classic, one of the standard bearers, probably the most recognized slasher.
Fuck that. Just on that, I'm grabbing a machete.
He does grab the machete. I am going with Friday the 13th.
You had me there. I thought you were going Halloween.
Nah.
Okay, so in watching Friday the 13th, are we going to watch all of the regular series up to and including Freddy versus Jason? Or are we also watching the remake Friday the 13th?
Surprise! Like I did like the remake.
I like the remake.
It did a good job explaining like how he moves around in tunnels underground and how he
Mhm.
can just appear in places. So I
Mhm.
mean that was a cool aspect. Um it definitely made him more terrifying when he took off running. Like I know in the second movie he took off running and was chasing people, but you haven't
Mhm.
seen it since the second movie. He's always just menacingly walked.
Yeah, it definitely took a few movies for them to get his thing. Well, I mean, he wasn't in the first one, but it took a
Yeah,
few movies before they got him down.
but it was
I
it's
we can finalize that later, but we can either watch it or not. But it would also be one we could bring to the table as far as comparing the original to the reboot.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, I will pencil that in. Casey, have you picked yours yet?
What movies have we added now? Well, I know you
We
said
just added
Scream last week,
Saw
right?
and Friday the 13th. So we got
Yeah,
Child's Play, Nightmare on
and we
Elm Street, and
had
Scream.
Child's Play and Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, and I could be a dick and go with Halloween, but I feel like Arlie should have that. But it definitely should be in there.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna pick it
Um,
at all.
yeah, yeah, now for sure.
No,
that
I mean
surprises me.
I wasn't gonna pick it.
I mean, it's literally in your background.
It is. It's everywhere in my room.
I'm just saying.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. But so it's free to
If
pick if you want to pick it, or
if I was gonna
you
pick
can
it,
go.
I would have picked it the first go. I
I
really
mean,
wasn't
I
gonna
you
thought
pick
you were
it.
can't.
going to. I was surprised. Huh?
I mean, you can't not pick it. It can't go without being included. If you're gonna include Freddy, Jason, and Chucky, you can't not go Michael Myers. You can't not add Halloween. You have to. And if he's not going to, I mean, you could, but if you don't want it, I'll throw it in.
I'm coming with a
All
different
yours?
one next week.
Okay.
I was gonna go with
No, don't reveal it yet. Don't reveal it yet. We want to keep
See,
people on the edge of their seat.
there is one more. There is
Well,
one
if
more,
you don't want to
and
pick, just say what it is. You don't want to pick Halloween, which
me.
is fine, but
I don't
whatever.
know. I mean, I wasn't
No,
going
Casey.
to. I was thinking of the two that I was gonna pick, or
All right, well,
thinking
just
of,
tell us one,
but I
and it's
don't know.
going to be the official choice.
But see that calls into question the series portion of it as well. But
You got 5 movies to choose from, so it's not because you're going to be able to get 5 movies on the list. So you got 4 left now. So I mean, you still got.
you know what? I'll go with Halloween, and then when we get
Mhm.
off camera, I'll shoot it out there and see.
Just bring it. Just bring it. Just bring it next time. Yeah, that's what you want.
Okay.
I don't think
Okay.
we all have to agree on it. We're all bringing what we want to put on the list, and whichever one wins is going to win.
No.
Eh,
I know, but I don't want to take it if he's gonna. I started to see him mouth it, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he was trying to say what I was about to
I think he's
say.
messing around with you.
No, I was really saying, like, I really wasn't going to pick Halloween at all. Like,
Oh, I
No,
believe that.
no.
I'm
No,
giving
not
other.
that. You were starting to say another one before Pat cut you off, and I think I caught the beginning of it, but I was gonna say it was gonna be one of my choices as well.
Starts with an
But
H.
yeah, then it is what I thought.
No, it
I
isn't.
don't like that. I don't like that one, but again, we don't have to all like them. I haven't watched them all, so
I
we'll
meant
get
that
into
goes
it.
with the era.
We'll get
That's
yeah.
another one that goes with
It's
the
not
era.
it's not what you're thinking.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, well then can I say it? Can I pick it then? Fuck it,
You go with it.
Instead of Halloween.
yeah,
Okay,
Hellraiser.
what is it? Hellraiser. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. Yep, we will
Yeah.
add Hellraiser to the list. So this week's entries to the bracket are Saw, Friday the 13th, and Hellraiser. Bookmark it. All right. Okay. So, and now to wrap out the show, I have a would you rather for you guys to contemplate.
Hit me with it, baby.
Are you ready?
I'm
All
ready.
right. Would you rather find out that your parents are your grandparents and your sibling is actually your real parent, or would you rather find out that your parents are siblings?
I would rather. I'd rather find out that my grandparents were my parents
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the other form. Ah.
When you put me together, I'm a little fucked up, but can you take care of me forever and ever?
I just watched that the other day.
Nah. I'd rather my grandparents be the real parents, and then
Is it the shame? Is it just that if somebody finds out that
Absolutely.
I'm an adult, I'm fine, my parents seem fine, and then I find out that they're related, like
yeah.
I probably don't want that getting out. I don't know how it would make me feel in the moment either, but yeah, I'm not excited about that at all, the prospect of that.
No, I'd rather. There's shame on both sides, but there's way more shame on the other.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll go. I'll go with the fact that my parents were teen babies, or wait, you say grandparents? Or actually, oh my god, so they just happen to be older?
So you're
Wait, hold
so
on.
No,
you're
I just started thinking about it.
you have an older sister who's really your mom, but she gave birth at a young age, and her parents took
Oh,
you as their child. So now your mom
yeah,
is your sister, and
yeah.
your
So
parents are your
teens.
grandparents.
Yeah, no, I'd rather that. Yeah, sorry, I started mixing it up in my head.
Mm.
I took it a little different. I took it as like my grandparents had their first set of kids and they grew up to a certain point, and then the grandparents accidentally got pregnant again with me.
Okay,
Oh,
see, that's why I was like the way he said. I was about to say, I was like, I swear, I was like, that's
I said your
the way he said
grandparents,
it.
your parents are actually
Or
your
your parent.
grandparents, and your real parent is one of your siblings.
Yeah, but like the way I thought about it was like they're my grandparents, but they gave me to my brother or my sister, and they raised me.
Oh.
So that's still grandma and
Like
grandpa, but
we're too old to handle baby Arley. Like,
yeah,
can you please take him and just pretend we'll all say he's yours.
yeah,
It's
that's what
just
I thought
weird
you
if
meant.
I'm like, 60 walking into kindergarten and stuff like that.
Like that's what I thought you meant. Like they're my actual parents, but
That would
That
be
would have
they
been
were
a good
too
one.
hilarious.
old.
That would have been a good question to go back and forth with.
Yeah, that
I would have still chosen the fact that my mom and dad were actually my brother and sister-in-law, or vice versa.
Well, not the mom and dad or brother or sister though. Would you rather your mom and dad be your grandpa and your sister is your mom, or would you rather your grandparents are your parents and your mom is actually your sister.
I'd
Yeah, I know, that's what I said.
I'd still go with my grandparents, my parents.
All right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I would still go with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna go with my. I mean, Jesus, man, it's like your choices are like Arley's, where it's like, what? Oh, I don't even wait. Can she hear us?
Nah,
Can
you
she
don't
hear
end
us
up
right
with
now?
Possibly.
anybody's private parts near your face,
Well,
near in or around your
thank
body.
you. Yeah, I'm not gonna say. I was like, I don't want to say that
She
out
took
loud.
off.
If she can hear, I'm
Yeah.
not saying that out loud.
She just left.
Yeah. See, I've seen a lot. I don't know anybody personally, but I'm sure that that's a thing with the grandparents taking the child because the
Yeah.
mother or father too young, whatever. I've seen it in movies a lot. But have you ever heard of it
Hey
happening
guys,
where the dad or
I
the
hate to
dad
interrupt.
is
Can I
really
interject? I gotta get going, man. I really do. It's already way past the time, and I still have to hop in the shower.
okay? Really quick though, we'll end it right now, but you have to be here for this. Not saying anything, all right?
Oh, come on, man. I'm in a hurry. Can we?
Yeah. All right. Until next week. Bye, brother.
Hi, brother.
Here we are. You fucking made it to the end. Your friend to the end, Chucky, is so dang proud of you. Well, fine to kill you. Should have never trusted me, kiddo.